of a safe style from
Yeah,
Dongregul. Like this.
I just can't wrap my head around why DRG would do that. It was such a weird build. It just felt so gimmicky. You know, I'm going to rely on this one moment in the game to win.
And the funny thing was that Gated actually had like 3 cannons and a lot of gateways, and for some reason a lot of zealots. Like I've never seen a Protoss have so many zealots in this phase of the game.
I'll tell you why he had a lot of zealots, because he also had a Robo, a Robotics Bay, a Stargate, an Observer was out. He had +1 done. You know, he had thrown a lot of gas into just tons of random stuff. And of all the things that he maybe should have had with that many zealots, he had no charge or Twilight Council. So,
but it worked, man. He did.
It worked, man.
Which is something that
it was the Gatored build.
Yeah, I think he did definitely throw a trademark on that one. So we do see a pylon on the low ground now. This time for Gated as well. So it seems like he wants to go for another Forge Expand. Seems like Forge Expand is really gaining a lot in popularity again lately.
Yeah. At least amongst these North American players, it seems to be their kind of go-to thing.
We started up uphill, then we went downhill for quite a while, but then people were like, "Nah, it's too vulnerable. We're going up." And now suddenly it's like the flavor of the month again. Everybody's filling that island down the ramp.
Kind of crazy. I've actually been of the mindset recently, Kev, that I think 1 gate fast expand is the best Protoss build.
It is, but it's still a greedy build as well. I do think that is the best build, but I think it's a greedy build.
The thing I like about 1 gate fast expand, since we have a minute, I'll just talk why as a Zerg player I think it's good. Because we've got Forge Expand. Forge Expand against standard Zerg, 14 pool, 16 hatch, or hatch first, or any reasonably early expand out of Zerg. It's like a free ticket for Zerg to get 60 drones. It's just like drone up to 60 and then make units, and you're safe. Whereas when you go 1 gate expand, maybe you're a little bit susceptible to some speedling antics, but after that point in the game, you're able to actually apply pressure to Zerg and keep him from just droning freely. I really like 1 gate expand for that reason.
I agree with you, but it's not about the fact of what you can do mid-game. It's just about the fact will you actually be able to survive with 1 gate expand. And there really are certain Zerg builds which will absolutely crush 1 gate expand. I would like to say 100% in the situations, but I guess that's never true. But in 99 out of 100 situations.
Some very high success rate. Even just pure speedling is really, really strong against 1 gate expand.
Because like how many sentries will you really be able to get out in time? Ooh, it seemed like Gated.
Not liking that cannon placement. Resets it there.
And I do not like this that much either, because once again you're blocking off an assimilator, which is nothing to worry about for now, but that's something to worry about for later on.
That's why he had so many zealots.
Yeah, Gated. This is like all part of the plan, man. He's blocking his assimilators to get more additional
zealots. He's balancing his economy, man. He's like, I just know that I can get this amount of zealots if I mine gas at this rate.
I don't know, it's a really strange, but once again, mad props to Gated for winning that first map against Dongregul, because that's something that a lot of Protoss players have not been able to succeed in, or at least in taking a map, or even so in doing so. So, very, very nice job right there by Gated.
Yeah. First cannon is up. First cannon, I can see why he replaced that cannon now, because it actually covers his second cannon, so the Lings won't be able to just run in and kill it. DRG doing as much scouting as he can, but he's going to be pretty much kept in the dark here. By seeing the front, though, he knows, okay, here's the gateway timing. I know when to expect work gate. I know when to expect, whatever kinds of tech. I think DRG is just going to be droning for a while, unless he mixes it up and goes for some sort of crazy all-in.
Yeah, I think we're going to see him drone for quite a bit. He's already... No, he's actually not ahead yet. We have 24 probes right now against 23 drones. And I guess that's just a matter of time. I'm very curious to see in what Gated is going to transition his build into, though. I don't think he should take this assimilator. If I were him, I would at least take this one first, and then only when you really want that for the assimilator, perhaps he could take out his own cannon. Even though that is, of course, a little bit sad, but yeah, you'd rather kill a cannon than a pylon later on in the game.
Yeah.
Ooh, I heard something got cancelled over there.
Yeah, he had a pylon up, and then he realized that he had a full wall with a cyber core. I think he's also managed to trap a probe there in the mineral patch.
This one?
Yeah.
Nah, it should be to get here easily. I think it's just idling. Let's take a look from Gated's point of view. Yeah, he does have one idling probe, and that was the idling probe. So
that probe is stuck.
Ah, between the gate.
Stuck
and
as a
between
duck.
the cybernetics core.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is indeed stuck. Man, I didn't even look at it like that.
That's
it
such a bummer.
Felt like it was so open. Yeah, I really hate it when that happens.
It's like, do I cancel the cyber core like right as it finishes to get my probe out?
Just he should just use his cannon right now to take out that probe, because in my opinion it's one supply useless, and it's also a very, very annoying symbol to have this idling worker all the time.
He's saving that probe for if there's ever a base race. When the cyber core dies, the probe comes out. He's going to save the day.
I don't think that's going to be the case. Dongregul was supply cap for a couple of seconds, but he already took care of that. He's getting the third hatchery now as well, really quite quickly. So that's exactly what you said, man. And I love the positioning of those links. Actually, look at Dongregu's map vision. That's he had like this beautiful arc or circle of Zerglings around the network span, making sure that if Gated would send out any problem, man, Gated is supply capped like really badly right now. He's at 44 for quite a while already, and just now he started warping in the pylons. And I mean, as cool as it is to win one map against Dongregu,
Yeah,
I think he's gonna need to bring something more to the show to win.
Get it
win
together,
the series.
man. Catch your breath. Play your normal style. DRG, I do like the fact that he sent these zealots across the map. He gets a scout on the third base, and he also forces a handful of lings. Those are drones. Those could have been drones. If you look at the workers tab, you can see, hey, those 12 lings that he forced means that he's only four workers behind instead of 10.
Yeah, and that's just, it's so important. And I really like the way that PvZ transitioned into something like that lately. We've seen it so many times that the previous IPL actually is what I want to say, where Protoss went for those certain zealot only pushes, which made a lot of sense. Actually, this simulator is not all that bad.
Kev, I think we might see a little bit of low-tech pressure out of DRG here. He's made a few roaches. He's still adding drones, but he's got no layer tech anywhere in sight. What are you doing, Dongregu?
Well, I think he's worried about the potential.
Yeah, I guess he's just trying to be safe.
Yeah, he was worried about the potential 6 gate, and I really can't blame him. Because, I mean, he's getting close to that mark right now, 9-minute mark. He probably scouted. It took a long time before Gated took this as simulator, which is something that Dongregu scouted several times. And if you see a Protoss like all the time, like, oh, only one is simulated, that's funky, man. It might just be a ton of Stalkers and Zealots suddenly down the ramp somewhere.
Gated about to be supply blocked again. Does throw down a couple of pylons here.
Wow,
still not mining off that top gas. And look at Gatord's build, man. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 gates and a robo. And he's got 2 immortals. What is going on here? We're going to see a little immortal push, making a third immortal. I think we are.
Might just be. And we have quite a few sentries as well. Let's take a look at the unit count tab. We have 4 sentries in total. Pretty much, well, actually, I actually expected the energy count to be a lot higher. What happened to that? With 2 immortals over here, I think he really did a really good job hiding them. Let's take a look what Dongregu was able to see in the end. Well, he did see the robo, but I'm not sure if he saw those 2 immortals since he sent the first overlord via the south side. It was like 10-15 seconds prior.
He was just a little bit out of range of seeing those immortals. I was watching that myself. This could actually be kind of a strong timing here. 3 immortals and observer. DRG is just going to have Roach Ling. I don't know, man. +1 is going to be finished. It is finished. So Zealots are going to be nice against the Zerglings.
Dongregu investing into that Spire right now as well. Gated at 91 supply, Dongregu at 113, instantly making 8 roaches, but that's probably what Gated wants. There's a reason why he got those 3 immortals. And look at those bad boys rolling out. If he would warp in like Stalkers only right now, or even the mix between Stalkers and Zealots, with a couple of good force fields, this actually looks really scary.
This is really scary, man. If Gatored controls this well, this could be a really devastating push. DRG looks like he might want to counter here.
Well, we have
I'm not sure that I see this working, though.
We have 2 cannons. 2 cannons should be more than enough. You can always warp in 1 or 2 additional Zealots. That won't really delay his push all that much. Every second he waits right now, and I love the way that Dongregu makes 28 Zerglings now at once, because he needs something more than roaches only against all of those immortals.
Gatored seems so well of these lings that are trying to set up this flank, though. DRG making a ton of units. Spire finishing up. I don't really see Mutas coming out, though.
I think that was just a safety Spire against Colossus.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. Here we go, man. Pylons finishing up. There's going to be 1 big warp in for Gatored, and then it's going to be, 1 Stalker.
He should be careful with these 6 Zealots, though. He warped them in at his main base, but there are a ton of Zerglings over here, and they will be able to take out a few Zerglings, but obviously losing 6 Zealots prior to your push, and now Gatored is like, all right, this is it. I'm just going to have to go for it.
Oh, I love Gatored's positioning here, man. I really think he's in a nice spot. He's worked himself into a little bit of a corner.
He's going to perhaps make a donut right now. Traps a lot of roaches.
Oh, the Immortals with that extra range. They're going to be doing such a good job here. DRG taking some serious damage, but the supply still heavily in Dongregu's favor, 130 to 100.
And Dongregu managed to take out all the pilots besides this one. This is the only remaining pilot for Gated. And actually, Gated is warping in reinforcements right now.
Gosh, Gatored, 119 to 114. All of a sudden, things are looking really sketchy. 9 Hydras on the way, though. They could really change things.
Well, the Observer is going to fall against the Spore Crawler, but we do not have Burrow, so I guess it's okay. It's not really a big deal. 120 supply for 117. We see a big counterattack right now, but once again, we still have those 2 cannons over there for Gated.
They're going to go right through, and actually they're attacking, which is maybe not the right thing. Third base falling for DRG. He's throwing up spine crawlers at a frantic pace.
And Hydras are going to be really good, but is it really going to be enough? This is a really scary Protoss army, even for Hydralisk.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, Gated is losing a ton of probes right now.
Oh my gosh, Gator. Oh, his probes are falling. This is, oh my god, Gator, what are you doing? Warping some units, man.
It's all or nothing right now for Gated. He's really going to have to win the game with this push. He cannot afford to lose his army. And I love how Dongregu is just hanging in there, saving all the time that he can possibly get.
I think Gator needs to fall back, man. I don't think he can kill this army. There's just too much stuff here for our Zerg player. Hydras are going to do too much damage against this army of pure gateway stuff. Supply is actually starting to favor DRG again, 120 to 116. Yeah. Finally, Gator has cleaned up his natural expand. Just go home, man. You did enough damage. You're not going to win with this push.
He has a lot of sentries, though. So, like, oh my god, look at the amount of sentries. That's the biggest amount of sentries I've seen since beta, I guess, when they did 8 damage or something. And here we go once again. Dongregu trying to move forward. I love this positioning actually by Gator. He's doing a really good job sniping off a few Hydras.
All the Immortals are still alive, man. 15 kills on one of them. 11 kills on another one that does just
Dongregu is forced to pull the drones once again.
Oh my gosh, Gator, are you kidding me right now? Really? DRG's supply is plummeting.
Oh, it's so close.
The Immortals are just hanging around.
So
one more.
close.
Look at these Zealots in the mix. Gator, oh my god, Gator is really pushing hard here. 76 supply to 78.
All these Stalkers are still quite healthy as well, but now we have 9 more Roaches on the way for Dongregu, and that just might be enough to finally hold against Gated push. And now he's actually moving forward. Once again, those Zealots doing a good job absorbing damage. That Immortal is really ripping through Roaches.
Such a hero, but finally the Immortal is going to fall here. Gated having to reinforce from so far away.
Gated was so close to 2-0ing. Oh, a couple of sentries caught off guard horribly. He drops down. He does drop some decent force fields, but
sort of wasted force fields. 68 supply to 72 there. I really feel like Gator...
Throw down a robotics bay,
man.
Yeah,
throw down a robotics bay, fall back. You've really equalized things quite a bit. Why are you continuing to throw gateway units into Roach Hydra?
That's exactly what Dongregu wants. Dongregu is losing a few Overlords right there unnecessarily, but other than that, he's doing an excellent job at defending against this Protoss army.
DRG is finally going to clean this up here. Couple of units being warped in.
A couple of really low HP Roaches. You should definitely try to focus those bad boys.
Gator is just so broke, man.
Yes, he lost so many probes. I mean, that Zergling run by killed 26 probes. How is it possible?
All he had to do was warp in a few Zealots.
Yeah, 2 Zealots would have really done the trick. Like 2 Zealots straight away as the moment those cannons were surrounded. I really think that would have done everything. 26 probes against, how many Zerglings was it? It wasn't even that many. 15, 20?
Yeah, it was not that many. I think maybe 16 or so, just enough to barely kill those 2 cannons. The worker count's still favoring Gator, though. The problem he has now is that there's a really scary Roach Hydra push coming to his front, and I don't know if he can hold. There's no cannons. There's only gateway units.
Yeah, he killed a ton of drones, actually, in that fight as well. Didn't really realize that. He did so much damage, and you were so right, Ben. If only he would have saved a couple of additional Stalkers, everything could have been different. He's going to try to save this Nexus right now. The Nexus is still alive. The Nexus is still alive. Nice force fields.
Force fields are okay, but a lot of probes are going to fall here. Now the worker count's really going to heavily favor Dongregu. The Immortal kind of in a bad spot, getting focused. Gator trying to micro it back. Oh my god, the new Immortal is really good. But I just don't think it's going to be enough.
These off-creep Hydras somehow seem to be like the most overpowered thing in the world. And obviously we know a lot better than that. They are not. But what a game. I mean, once again, a far from flawless game between these two guys. But such an entertaining game, and man, that would have been quite a story. I mean, Gated, Dongregu, 2-0. Ben?
Never in a million years, bro.
No. What would the odds for that one be?
Seriously, somebody go check Pinnacle on that one. That has to be heavily in Dongregu's favor.
Wow. That game, it was so close. I really, for a certain moment, you know, the reason why I'm living so much up in this moment is that I can see myself being that Gated guy. Because I used to be that guy on ladder, you know. You play against those good Zergs, you play against Stefano, and you know that you're not supposed to win the game. But somehow you're getting so close, and you keep whopping in the Stalkers because you just feel like this is your moment, you know. This is your moment to win that game. And Gated got so incredible close to 2-0 in Dongregu.
That was awesome.
Which would have been really quite a story, but...
Trying to find our Russian caster. There he is. All right, suggest to invite to game. All right, there we go. Okay, so...
Man, that was entertaining. I mean, it was not perfect StarCraft. It's not the kind of StarCraft that we have in
Gator,
ICE.
There was just a couple of things he could have changed, and he would have just owned that game.
I loved it, though.
I think I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say what we saw there was Gator was like, I'm winning,
yeah.
and that adrenaline's pumping.
No, I even felt it, man.
Yeah.
I even felt it for him.
And it can just affect that decision making so slightly. He's like, I'm just gonna go for it. I'm gonna forget about my base. I'm just gonna go for it. I mean, that's kind of what we saw happen there.
He's like I mean, he's not. I wouldn't say. I think it's safe to say that he's a top American StarCraft player. I mean, if you're here at Detox Remastered, you're a top American StarCraft player. That means that I do not think that he's top 5 because, of course, we have the Idra, Hawk, Kiwi, Select, you know, the real big guns. But obviously, this is one of the better North American StarCraft players. Otherwise, he wouldn't be here. And he would never lose 26 probes in a situation like he just did. He would never do that. That would never happen on ladder. On ladder, he'd be like, okay, no problem, I'm wiping 3
Yeah, he'd be like playing against me.